Hey guys, and welcome to Jays and Kays. What I've got here today is a Casio GShock GD400, and this is actually the same GD400 we used in our prior video where we took off the original strap and we replaced it with this 24mm two-piece nylon. Now, you may recall that during that video we talked about that we could use a 26 as well, and that's one of the reasons that I'm doing this video is because there's a number of guys who asked to see what it would look like with the 26. Now I'll let you know that the installation of the 26 was a lot easier than the 24, and that's because the lug width here is 26, and if you didn't mind the extra play there with the 24, you'd be fine, but we didn't want that, so we had used the accent piece off the original strap, and that meant we needed to reinstall this sleeve here, which made that task a little more difficult. With the 26, it's just a matter of taking the screw bars out here, putting the strap in, and reinstalling the screw bars without having to worry about these other pieces. So definitely a more easy experience there, and it's a clean look. It fits really well. So if you don't mind a 26mm strap on your wrist, then I think you'd be pretty happy with this option. Now, one of the other things we're doing here is some guys had asked for a demonstration of the features of this watch, so I'll run through them real quick, not necessarily an in-depth review, but let's go ahead and talk about it. So here's your main timer screen, and one of the interesting things about the GD400 is that it displays multiple times on this screen. So I'm hitting my forward button and toggling through them. So I've got LA as time 1, Tokyo as time 2, UTC, aka ZULU, as time 3, and then Kabul as time 4. So you could set all these individual times and access them. Your next mode, pressing your mode button here, is going to be your world time. So you'll have an alternate time set here, and it's any time of your 31 zones and your 48 cities. So pretty straightforward as far as the G's go. Next mode is going to be your alarm mode, and the GD400 has actually got 5 alarms here. So here's alarm 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 traditional alarms, and then your hourly chime, what have you. But moving along, here's your countdown timer. I've got it set to basically 24 hours, 23 minutes, 59 seconds, 23 hours, 59 minutes, and 59 seconds. So you set your countdown timer anywhere through that range. So it's a typical timer. The stopwatch, nothing special here, right? Just your standard stopwatch with your split times and what have you. So toggle through that real quick. Moving to the next mode. Takes me back to more real-time mode. Now you can also see that here on the bottom of the screen it says flash. So it has the ability that when your alarm sounds, it'll also flash the screen. It'll blink the screen during the alarm. So you can turn that on or off. Here real quick, going through some of that setup. Here's your normal time mode, and we'll toggle through some of these settings, and you can see this is with the primary time, the LAX time 1, and going through 24-hour, year, month, day. This is your timer for your light. So we can set your light duration for 1 second or 3 seconds. And so I've got it set for 3 right now. There's 1. I'm going to set it back to 3. I prefer it at 3, but moving right along. Here's your flash option. So if you want to turn the flash on or off, I've got it on. I'm going to leave it on. And then back to the normal, the original screen. So we'll go ahead and exit out of that. And if you wanted to, of course, you can go in one of the other time modes, and one of the other times in this mode, and you can set those settings as well. So that's a quick rundown of that. Now the light, I can try to show you here that lighting here is too bright. So let me turn the light off for you, get a dimmer lighting scenario, and we'll go ahead and hit that light for you. Okay, so here's a low light situation. Let me hit the light. Okay, so you can see the lighting real well here. This is what it looks like. All right, so any questions about that? This should answer those. And I'm going to get the lights back on. Okay, and so here we have it. Hopefully that is a quick rundown of all the features of this. Now let's talk about these wire guards. If you don't have to take these off, I recommend you don't. And that's because these wire guards from Casio in this model are super tight. I mean, they fit really tight. And so it's kind of a challenge to get them off, but someone had asked me, hey, can you give it a go? And so here's what I recommend, and you may have a better procedure, but what I don't want to do is the side with the weld. I'm not going to manipulate it on that side. I want to do it over here. I can't get these off my fingers. I've tried. So I'm going to use a screwdriver, a small screwdriver, to try to get up under here. Now, here's the warning is that you could ding your bezel on this, and if you don't want to take that risk, or you don't want to risk chipping the finish on the wire guard, I don't recommend you do this if you don't have to. But anyway, so I'll get this up under here. And the problem is getting the wire guard up over the bump on the bezel around the buttons. That's the hardest part. So once you do that, you just pry up under here. And like I said, try not to damage your bezel. Just gently pull it up and over. And once you get past that breaking point, they'll pop right off. But they are on super tight. And I'll tell you that right now. There you go. We got it off. Okay. So, and you can see a little depression here where I was pressing with the screwdriver. And that's what I don't think most guys want to have happen. Anyway, I think that it'll probably, the memory on that rubber will probably come back. So it probably is not permanent. I don't know. We'll see. But anyway, so here's our wire guard. And let's put it back on. Again, I would work with the side that doesn't have the weld. And so, seat this side really well. And you can push hard enough to get this over like that. There you go. I originally had thought I would need the screwdriver to pry it back over, but then I was able to press it hard enough to get it to seat back down. Nonetheless, I recommend you don't pull that off if you don't have to, just because of the risk of maybe damaging your bezel or chipping the finish on your wire guard. But I hope that answers everyone's questions about this model. And if not, send me a message. Maybe we could do so. Bye.